Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the massive 11-game slate that we have for tonight's NBA action. 11 games starting at 7 o'clock, so let's get started. As always, appreciate if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It was a good night on DraftKings, hit a 284 as a lower scoring slate. We fell short on FanDuel. See if we can get both in the money today on this massive slate. You can follow me on Twitter if you're interested in staying up to date. I also post some betting stuff there. If you are into sports betting, you can check out Prize Picks. Use my code process for deposit match up to $100. Posted the Prize Picks on Twitter yesterday. Went 4 of 5. Just missed out on the 5 of 5 sweep with Jalen Smith falling short. And you can check out the website if you wanted to join us. The point guard plays today. James Harden is 11-1. They are getting Kyrie Irving back, his long-awaited return. So, with Irving back, don't know how many minutes he's going to play. I wouldn't expect him to play, more than 30. Probably in the 20 to 28-minute range, I'd say. But that's going to hurt. James Harden is going to hurt Kevin Durant. And until the price tags come down, I'm not going to be looking to pay north of 11K for those guys. Steph Curry looks okay, I guess, against Dallas. He's struggled big time. Had one of his worst shooting performances against the Miami Heat. Just shot 3 of 17, 1 of 10 from distance. He's still shooting the ball exceptionally well this year, almost 40% on a ton of shots from distance, shooting 92% from the free throw line. It's insane. But I like Curry more than Harden, but I probably won't get to either one today. Trae Young is questionable. If he's out, then look to DeLon Wright, who's back. Look to Herter, Cam Reddish. They'd all get some significant bumps. Bradley Beal looks fine, I guess, also at 10-5. They've been running 8-man rotations, but only one guy, Johnson, only played 8 minutes. So it's basically 7 guys playing a lot of the minutes, and Beal's taking over the point guard duties. He has good shot to get you a double-double now that he's handling the ball and playing 40-plus minutes in regulation. So I do like Beal today. Probably at shooting guard, you have other plays at point guard that look good. In the value range, you're going to probably look to, Fox looks fine at 7K. I like Tyler Hero at $6,900 just because they're going to need somebody to shoot and score the ball. He's been taking shots as they just haven't been falling. Took over 23 shots in 2 straight games. Shot under 40% in both. Barely shot over 30% against the Warriors. But as soon as those shots start to fall without Jimmy Butler, he's going to be a very good play. But I guess the one guy you have to kind of really consider here in the 5K range is Simons at 53. He looks great coming off of a career high 43 against the Hawks. There is no Damian Lillard once again today. So I feel very good about plugging in Simons. He's going to play north of 30 minutes, probably north of 35, close to 40 minutes. And he's a very good shooter, especially from distance. He's going to get a lot of shots off. And just like Curry, he's been amazing at the free throw line. Plug in Simons, you'll probably feel very good about that. You can also play him at shooting guard because the one point guard play that you definitely want to get to is, for some reason, they bumped his price down. Kiefer Skikes is down to $3,300 after he was 35 and put up 40 fantasy points last night. Definitely want to go back to him. They are, unless Brogdon happens to return, which I don't expect. But assuming Brogdon, LeVert are still out, Skikes is the best value pick. You also have Washington Jr., who you can go to just because he's also very affordable. Both guys are just point guard eligible, so I would take the $500 savings on Skikes. Over at shooting guard, you're looking at Bradley Beal. Looks very good at his price tag. Van Fleet's been balling. They are fully healthy now, so it's tougher to just pick which one will go off. But Van Fleet's been shooting the ball very, very well, 50% from distance in 3 out of the last 4 games, and really racking up the assist. So this game should be higher scoring. Milwaukee does give up threes if you wanted to play Van Fleet again. But I'd probably go down to a value pick would be Tyler Hero at $6,900. You can go with Barton at under 6K. Gary Trent gives you some upside. But I'm going to go ahead and plug in Simons here at 53. Small forward, looking at Durant at 10-8. He looks tougher to get to now that Irving is back, even though we don't know how much he's going to play. He's still going to take away from Kevin Durant in terms of a offensive perspective. In the value range, you have Otto Porter, who still gets some minutes off the bench, but his minutes he still gives you tournament upside off the bench, but his minutes are going to be tougher now that Jordan Poole is back and they're getting healthier. Buddy Hield had a great game. no surprise that he went off against the Lakers. Wish I thought about that a little bit more, but went off against the Lakers, a team that he wanted to get traded to, and they were trying to trade him. So in the Staples Center, he put on a show, even though they lost the game. In the 4K range, I'm looking at like Caleb Martin at 45, just because without Jimmy Butler, they're going to need somebody to take more shots and get more usage. And he's been very good on the season when he's given minutes. He's had a couple of big games. He can shoot the three. He can get you some rebounds as well. But Nasir Little is my favorite pick at $4,600, just because he gives you a ton of upside. They are not expected to have Larry Nance today, who's doubtful. Even though Nurkic is back, there's still a lot of minutes to be had in the front court at the 3 and 4 position. So Nasir Little at 46 looks like a very, very good value pick. Power forward, I like Sabonis if you wanted to get up to him. Struggled last night against the Knicks, which they have a couple of bigs there, so it's not super surprising that he didn't have the best showing against Randall and against Mitchell Robinson. I mean, they do play good defense down there. But going up against this Brooklyn team that likes to play undersized, like Aldridge, shouldn't be able to slow down Sabonis. He just had a tough night. It was not hitting his free throws either. 5 of 12, but the minutes are still very high on him, and I wouldn't mind going right back to him today. I think Giannis would be another good option at 11-6. It should be a higher scoring type of game against Toronto. Other picks in the mid-range, you have Kyle Kuzma's been playing out of his mind. The minutes are huge for him right now, and the shots have been falling. Don't expect 66 out of him again, but the minutes are definitely there. They're playing a very tight rotation. The matchup is great against Houston, and he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. If that continues, can still give you some value at $7,700. In the value range at power forward, you have Trey Lyles, who started at center. Probably will start again today. You have Covington, who's going to get some decent minutes today without Larry Nance. He's at a good price tag, but he's probably I definitely go to Nasir Little over him. I'll go ahead and plug in Sabonis for right now. I think he can bounce back tonight. At center, you have 3 guys at the top end that you normally like to try to get up to. Jokic especially. Embiid's been playing great also, and they're a little bit shorthanded today with a couple of guys in protocols coming off of a triple-double last game by Embiid, trying to show out Jokic. Karl-Anthony Towns might return, but he's not like the most appealing pick when they still have Anthony Edwards, when they have Russell, when they have some other guys playing well. You have a couple of guys in the 6K range that look very good. Gafford, Yurtseven, and Nurkic all look very appealing. Going ahead and plug in Nurkic right now just because he's going to get a nice usage bump without Lillard out there. We saw what he did in his first game back. He played 26 minutes, but was in a little bit of foul trouble, and Larry Nance also played a lot of minutes in that game. They don't have Larry Nance, who's doubtful today, and you'd maybe expect Nurkic to get up to 30 because they don't really have any other big to match up to Yurtseven. So I expect him to be playing Yurtseven a lot when those guys are both on the court together. We'll get a nice usage bump, gets you rebounds, assists, can really fill it up at a very nice price tag. And then at the utility, it's probably between Gafford and Yurtseven for me. They're both in play. Gafford gets a good matchup against Houston. Also, Christian Wood is only $6,200, but definitely, if he pulls another antic, he might get benched again because apparently he didn't want to play in the second half after they were losing, after they got absolutely destroyed in the second quarter, and that's why he got suspended. He should be back today, but there's still, I guess, a little bit of risk. But you also have Nurkic, Gafford, Yurtseven, Christian Wood, all in that 6K range that I don't think Wood is a must-play when you have those other 3 guys, but I still like, if you make a bunch of teams, to play some Christian Wood just because he's very affordable. And that's about it for the DraftKings side. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, point guard plays. Harden is very expensive, so I'll probably pass on him. I think you can go Doncic, Curry definitely over James Harden. In the 8K range, maybe you can take a shot on Kyrie if we get word that he's not going to be limited, but I'd be very surprised if that does happen. In the 7K range, you have Jaren Fox, Cade Cunningham, definitely Kyle Lowry without Jimmy Butler looks good at 74. In the 6K range, Marcus Smart's been playing better. Seth Curry will get a lot more point guard duties today without Milton and without Tyrese Maxey. In the value range, Simons at 55 still looks very appealing, but you still have Kiefer Skikes at 37. Probably probably spelled his name wrong. $3,700. Great play at point guard. At shooting guard, I'm looking at Bradley Beal at 99, even though he's expensive. Just racking up the assists, playing huge minutes, and playing very well right now. The mid-range, you have maybe Cole Anthony if he's back, and he's not going to be limited. You have Diallo's been playing better, but Cade Cunningham is going to take some away from Diallo. Sadiq Bey still had a big game with Cade Cunningham back, but he was hitting like 70+% of his threes, which is not likely. But Tyler Hero at this price tag is very easy to get to, 65, with him taking 20+ shots, playing probably close to 40 minutes if he's playing well. Without Jimmy Butler, without a couple of pieces still in protocols, he looks a little bit too good to pass up. The 5K range, you can look to Buddy Hield if you wanted to. Max Strus, so get some good minutes. Simons at 55 also looks good. So I'll plug in Simons, and I'll probably plug in Tyler Hero at small forward. Other players at small forward besides Tyler Hero would be Giannis at his price tag. You can go to Jason Tatum. With him and Brown being the same price tag, I prefer Tatum by a little bit. Kyle Kuzma has been playing out of his mind if you want to take a shot with him. But it's 6K range, it's Tyler Hero, it's OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Will Barton are the 4 best picks in that range. 5K range, don't have too much that looks that appealing besides Buddy Hield and Nasir Little. I'd say also is a very good play at 55, and you have Caleb Martin at 53. So you have a number of options, and Gary Trent also, if you want to play him at 51 against a team that gives up a lot of threes. Power forward, probably you can get to Sabonis, get up to Giannis if you wanted to. You have Kuzma at 78 at a pretty affordable price tag. Christian Wood if you wanted to punish yourself with him and his craziness at 70, at a low 7K price tag. But probably look to like OG Anunoby's at a nice price tag going up against Milwaukee. You have him and Scotty Barnes can both be very good defenders. Probably OG will be up against Giannis, so he'll probably see very heavy minutes today. The value range, don't have too much in the 5K range. 4K range, you basically have Trey Lyles and not too much else. I'll go ahead and plug in Sabonis for right now at 10K. I think he's going to bounce back. The matchup is very good to bounce back against Brooklyn. At center, you can get up to Jokic. I like him a little bit more than Embiid, definitely more than Towns. But you still have those like 3 or 4 guys in the 6K range that look very good. Yurtseven, Gafford. They're more expensive than Nurkic. Nurkic is only 6K, so he's going to be my favorite on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's close between those 3, but Nurkic at only 6K is too good to pass up without Lillard. Going up against Miami, they're still tough defensively, but a lot different when they don't have Jimmy Butler out there, and they don't have Bam Adebayo still for a couple of months. So Nurkic gets a nice matchup against Yurtseven. Should be able to get a lot of rebounds. I think those two will go back and forth a little bit in terms of just getting rebounds and getting some easy baskets. But that's about it for the video. Feel pretty good about it. Targeting Portland. Get some Miami guys in there. You have Sabonis if you wanted to play him. Indy still shorthanded. Portland shorthanded. Miami shorthanded. Those are the teams I'm kind of focused on today. And that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.